Vincent, yes, hello, yes.
Oh, hi, Michael. How are you?
Yes, I'm well. I'm well, thank you. Yes, in fact, look, it's been quite eventful, really. I haven't really shared any of my sort of personal life with you, and it's not really appropriate, and we're sort of coached not to. But I feel like I'm just jumping out of my skin because I've become a grandfather for the first time.
What?
Yes. So my child, they had a baby girl, and it was a long time coming. Like I think it was like 9 months, give or take. Yeah, and
yes.
But I mean, obviously before that there was the whole had to raise them, and boy, did we go through some stuff. But anyway, that's by the by because now I'm a grandfather, and I was hoping for a masculine child, but it still may eventuate that way. But it's a girl. It's a she, her.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh well, congratulations, Michael. I never imagined you as a father.
Well, no, I'm a grandfather. I mean, yes.
Oh, and a grandfather.
And a grandfather. Yeah, I know. Look, it just it's funny how things just. Well, I mean, obviously, I wasn't sharing it with you, and but I'm just so excited. It's just so exciting.
Oh,
yeah.
That is lovely. Well, that's fantastic news. I'm very, very pleased for you, Michael. That's fantastic. And I have some really good news as well.
Yes. Well, actually, before we go on, there's something I wanted to let you know. Look, I hope this doesn't. Before we start the session proper,
yes.
I hope this doesn't put you out or anything. But I was, I couldn't make it to the actual birth or anything. I was too busy doing other things. But
yes.
But I was asked for suggestions for the child's name.
Yes.
And I thought, as we get old, memory, and I've always been terrible with names as well, just remembering them, so I thought, well, I've got to make this something that I'm going to be able to remember, because I could walk into a room, meet all these people, and then next thing, unless we're wearing badges, like we're at a conference or something, I wouldn't have a clue, and so I always tell my partner, just sort of introduce yourself, and then they'll introduce themselves, and that way I'll know their name, but that doesn't work once you've been working the room for a while and you've already met everyone. You can't just keep introducing yourself. But anyway, so I was asked to suggest a name for this new girl child or of the feminine persuasion, and I thought, I'm going to remember it. And I suggested to them, and they actually went for it. And I'm hoping it's okay with you, but if not, it doesn't matter. They called her Vincentia, and it was literally because I thought that way, if I forget, which I suppose I just had to think, I've got a memory prompt, those memory prompts?
Yes.
And you're my memory prompt, and I'll go, Vincent, Vincentia, that's it.
Vincentia.
That's right. And
that's a beautiful name.
And I told my partner, all this, and she's no blood relations. Not to me and not to the child, so to speak. She said, well, that's good for you, but how am I going to remember? Because she's got the same situation. She's not very good with remembering names.
Yes.
And where we live, it's really. I thought about it. How am I going to? Do I have to tell her that I'm, doing this counselling thing, this psychotherapy thing with Vincent, and therefore it's Vincentia, and so I thought, well, that's too hard, because then you've got to remember two things. You've got to remember that this is what I do, and then this is how I do it with, and and then you probably won't even remember his name, so then you won't be able to remember her name, or their name, I should say. And so, but I remembered, because where we live, there's a suburb which has got an excellent Woolworths called Vincentia as well, just literally just 10 minutes away. So I said to her, well, here you go. This is, so if you ever forget their name, this is the grandchild, just think of, think of Woolies, right? Think of Woolies and you'll go, Vincentia, right? Bingo. And she said, what a great idea.
Oh, so that's the name. The name is Vincentia.
Yes. That is, but listen, we've thank you for indulging me. As I said, I'm very happy. So let's start the session proper. I trust there's been no harm or self-harm.
No harm, no self-harm. Look, to build on your incredible news, I've got some really good news as well. Yeah. I have met someone.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes. I met them at the gym.
Yes.
Because I've been going to the gym. And they are a yogurt instructor.
Yogurt instructor.
Yes. At our gym, they have seminars and special sessions, and they came in and did a whole presentation on yogurt. They the uses of yogurt, it's a probiotic, all that sort of stuff. And we hit it off. We've been out on a couple of dates. I think I'm ready for this, Michael. I think I'm ready for it. Their name is Priscilla.
Priscilla, lovely, beautiful name.
And Priscilla, and they are, I think it's the start of a new sort of a beginning for me.
Right. Which fits really well. It's amazing how, I mean, in some ways you wonder whether it's a sort of a cause and effect with, us kind of, well, you really starting again, with
yes.
sort of, and then this sudden change comes along. It's sort of like there's some sort of alignment, some kind of,
yes, some
sort of projection. That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
Is that common with psychiatrists and clients that lives align?
Well, yes, and it is. It is and it isn't.
Okay. I'm just wondering if there's some sort of connection there.
Well, and I think it's you've touched on a very interesting point, and it is there is. I think we talked last week, I think, or last time we spoke, about the Spartacus thing and sort of
yes.
What would Spartacus do, and it's sort of like a flavour on that, and it's a sort of sort of projecting,
yes.
like that. It sort of create. So if you kind of so in the way that you sort of say, well, if I were, like in the same way, well, Spartacus wasn't your thing, but you thought
yes.
maybe, I don't know, someone else. And it's one of those things that, what would Spartacus do? You can frame it in a sort of, if I were God, what would happen? What would I do?
Yes. Yes.
And it would tap a very sort of rich vein. I mean, if you listen to music, you're just driving along in a car and you've got FM radio on, you've got, anything, if you're listening to some stations, if I were a rich man, Tevye, Fiddler on the Roof, all that stuff.
Yes.
If I were a sculptor, Elton John in, I think this is your song, it doesn't matter. Six Ribbons is full of it by John English, right?
Yes,
if I were a blah, 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 I'd give you blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
But, you can reframe it in those terms and sometimes, not always, some say rarely, some say often, but we can agree to disagree on that. That thing will come to pass.
Yes. Okay.
Which is a good question. So really, it's a question now for you. Like in the short time we have left, or if say if I were, and just think what the first thing that comes to mind. If I were, and then what would happen?
Right. Okay. So do I go away and think about that, or do I do it now?
I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I will. Just whatever sort of springs to mind. I mean, this is actually, there is a modality, and we haven't covered any sort of new, but it's very progressive. It's very new. It's it's to do with projecting, and it's the projectile therapy modality. So we could kind of we sort of stumble into it in a way, but if you said, well, if I were, and if you just finish that off for me, please, or for yourself, really, please.
If I were a carpenter, I would hit my thumb with a hammer.
Oh yeah, well yes. So we want to sort of maybe go to the positive frame rather than the sort of the gain frame rather than the loss frame. That's another thing we should talk about at some stage. But maybe if I were a carpenter, I would be able to have a new table. Right, for example, obviously I wouldn't.
Yeah.
So maybe kind of explore that idea.
Okay.
You can do it in that sort of. You do it in a purely selfish way and just say I'll get a table, I'd be real happy about it. You could turn it into a kind of a projectile from the point of view of what you would wish with the other person. And this is why I mentioned these songs. If I were a rich man, well that's selfish. But if I were Six Ribbons, John English went through like a list of things he would be and what he would do. But then in the end it was a bit of a lost frame because he said, but I'm not any of those. So all I got for you is Six Ribbons. So
disappointing.
Well,
it would be disappointing.
And that's what I mean about the gain frame and loss frame. Try to accentuate the positive, really.
Yes. Okay. All right. Well, I'll think about that.
Yes.
I'll think about it like from a trade's point of view. I think that's sort of easier. It's a doing thing. Yeah. If I was some sort of trade, if I was a plumber.
Yeah, well, and then you could exactly. That's we are almost there. But you could literally, it would give you the fulfillment. You're doing things and changing things, but also you could actually make something that you could give to Priscilla and maybe plumbing or something.
Yes. Well, look, the good news is we've dated a couple of times and she's invited me over for dinner, so I'll be able to tell you about that.
Oh, you must tell me more. Yes. Good one. Yes. Think about shoe wear, maybe those trendy shoes. I don't know how well you guys are. I mean, she may like them, but it doesn't sound like they're very... look.
No. She's a mature woman.
She's a mature woman. All right, well, I look forward to hearing about that. And, it's really good to chat. And
thank you, Michael. Okay, thank you, Michael.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.